Jealousy destroys happiness of life. Jealousy is one of the most negative emotions a man may have towards his fellow being. It makes him to wish downfall for others and to be delighted when failure grips them. Jealousy is a sinful sense which occurs when a person lacks another's superior quality, achievement, or possession and either desires or wish that the other should not have it. It is a negative trait in one's character. Jealousy, as it is termed hasad in Arabic, is essentially a type of emotion that instills in destructive thought, fear, insecurity, anxiety, and totally the negative feelings that one can think of. It is referred to as a combination of different emotions which may be anger, inadequacy, disgust, resentment, and helplessness. It can be seen in people of every age. Some suffer from jealousy with an amount of tolerable extent, while others may practice it to the extreme level toward their fellow beings. In either case, they are the germs that lead to moral and spiritual destruction of one's personality. Usually, jealousy occurs among persons who know each other. It happens among siblings, between members of family, people of the same profession and age. Jealousy means being envious of other people. People with such negative feelings are called jealous. Perhaps jealousy is a disease of the heart and mind. It is one of the oldest evils of human beings. Some Islamic scholars say that this is the first sin that was committed. When Allah ordered the angels to bow down to Adam, Iblis refused to bow because he was jealous of the honor that Allah gave to Adam. He said to Allah, "Do you see this one whom you have honored above me? If you give me respite to the day of judgment, I shall surely bring his descendants under my sway, all but a few." Surah Al-Isra, Ayah 62. Possibly, jealousy is one of the fatal illnesses of ethics which cannot be cured. A jealous person grieves when he discovers any goodness and positivity in other people's lives. It is believed that jealousy is such an illness of soul that no doctor can find the cure for it. For this reason, jealousy is a disgusting moral quality which invalidates and destroys a person's good deeds. However, it is generally jealousy that causes fights between people and conflicts between colleagues and friends. Indeed, jealousy as a result of extreme egoism is the thought of how can they have something which I do not have? Those who live in jealousy live under stress and grief. They often ruin their own health and live a miserable life. They also intend to harm others. Jealous people have never reached their desires and they have never been respected by anyone and anywhere. In addition, jealousy causes despair, hopelessness, and shortens lifespan. According to Bertrand Russell, jealousy was one of the strongest causes of unhappiness. Not only is jealous person rendered unhappy by his envy, but they also wish to inflict misfortune on others. Jealous persons live in constant state of being sad and dejected. It ruins one's character before it is built on ethics and principles. Imam al-Ghazali, who was a great thinker, philosopher, and scholar, said that jealousy is often caused by various acts like hatred, ambition, superiority and arrogance, astonishment, craving for power and prestige. Whether it is money, power, fame, or lust, all material things are finite. It is for this reason people generally get jealous by each other. Obviously, everybody imagines himself to be superior and reflects that his thoughts and manners are better than others. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warned against jealousy by comparing it to fire that completely burns the wood. He, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Beware of jealousy, for verily it destroys good deeds the way fire destroys wood." A jealous person is annoyed because of the blessings other people have got. He is angry with God's way of distributing bounties to individuals. God the Almighty, through His absolute wisdom, has given some people more prosperity, children, intelligence, beauty, and strength than others. The believing Muslim should be pleased with what the Creator has destined for him. God the Almighty mentions in the Quran, Allah favored some of you over others with wealth and properties. Do they deny the favors of Allah? Surah An-Nahl, Ayah 71. However, being jealous does not change God's decision. Therefore, a jealous person grieves and troubles in vain because of his jealousy. Besides, he earns sins which are a burden on him. In truth, jealousy affects more damage to jealous himself than to one whom he is jealous of. A Muslim must always have in mind that jealousy is forbidden. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Do not be jealous of each other. Do not boycott each other. Do not hate each other. Do not contrive against each other. Be all of you brothers to each other, O servants of Allah." Envy and jealousy are sources of dissatisfaction and self-torture. Therefore, we are advised in the Holy Quran to seek refuge from the serious effects of such kinds of hateful social evils. Jealousy is such a dangerous characteristic that God revealed verses of the Quran to be recited as a protection from the jealous. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the dawn from the evil of envious when he envies. Surah Al-Falaq, Ayah 113. Both envy and jealousy, when translated into action, lead to the destruction of happiness and deprive people of the good things they enjoy. The best refuge from evil is trust in God along with purity of heart. When God's messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was asked, "Who are the best of people?" He, peace and blessings be upon him, replied, "The one with a clean heart and truthful tongue." Again they asked, "We understand a truthful tongue, but what does a clean heart mean?" He, peace and blessings be upon him, answered, "It is the heart of one that is pious, pure, and is free of sin, transgressions, hatred, and jealousy." Often, jealous person can go to any extent and cross all limits to fulfill his desire of envy. It can be said that jealousy is a kind of criminal motives perceived in the world, and if any investigation is made in the real factors behind murders, thefts, robberies, etc., we will discover that a major number of them is based on jealousy. We all must keep in mind that having a worldly boon or superiority is not evidence of perfection. If it was so, all rich people would be righteous and all poor people would be sinful. God the Exalted has therefore forbidden us from desiring in a crooked manner what others have. Do not wish for what we have favored some of you over others. Surah An-Nisa, Ayah 32. In order to discourage envy, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Do not look to those above you, look to those below you, as it will more likely remind you of God's favors bestowed on you." by obeying the words of God and His Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, with regard to jealousy being sinful and wicked, we should try our level best to discourage the proliferation of it in our heart and mind. Overcoming jealousy, though a very challenging task to practice in our normal routine of life, will truly make our spirit and character stronger. However, there are two things in which jealousy is allowed. Ibn Umar, may God be pleased with him, narrates that our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Jealousy is not acceptable except in respect of two persons, one of whom God has blessed with recitation of Quran and he remains engaged in it day and night, and the other man on whom God has bestowed wealth, who gives it away throughout night and day." Conversely, Islam permits jealousy, which means neither loving the loss of blessing nor hating for it to remain with the person, but desiring the same for oneself without the removal of the blessing from others. Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, also explained what may be said. "I wish I were given what he was given, and did with it what he did."